season's coming to a close, we've had a chance to put on quite a few miles on this 2022 Can-Am Ryker Sport 900. Here are some of my likes, dislikes, and opinions about this bike now that I've had the chance to own it for a season. I'm Ryan Hawkins from Canuck Powersports. Let's go for a ride. Thank you to everyone who watched and commented on our Ryker video that we posted a few months ago. There are lots of positive comments, and it's great to see that it may have influenced a few people to go out and purchase a Ryker of their own. There's nothing better than hitting the open road to relieve some stress and explore new areas. For those that haven't seen it, I'll post a link below in the description. If you like our videos, be sure to like and subscribe to our Canuck Powersports channels on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook for more great Powersports content. Before we get started on this 5,034 kilometer or 3,128 mile review, I must once again mention that I'm not paid or endorsed by Can-Am. These are my own thoughts and opinions about the Ryker. Okay, I need to get this out of the way early. I'm surprised at the amount of people that were upset over the fact that I didn't think the Ryker was a motorcycle. It does have many similarities, like being plated as a motorcycle. You must wear a helmet while riding it, if that's your state or province's law, and you do need a motorcycle or a three-wheel endorsement license to ride one. I don't care what you call it, as long as you enjoy being on the open road. As an avid snowmobiler, I compared the Ryker's ride to be more comparable of that to a snowmobile. It's just my opinion, and everyone is entitled to one, so take it for what it's worth. Regardless of what you call it, the Ryker is a unique vehicle and a blast to ride. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. Over the course of my 5,000 plus kilometers of owning the Ryker, do I regret my purchase? I wasn't too sure if I'd feel at home on the Ryker after coming off two wheels. Well, that's the furthest from the truth. The more time I spend on three wheels, the more I'm enjoying it. Motorcyclists are friendly people. I get just as many waves on the Ryker as I did while I was on my motorcycle. Some riders don't wave, and that's okay. Keeping your hands on the bars is important. I'm simply expressing with 2 or 3 fingers down. Hey brother or sister, keep 2 or 3 wheels on the road and ride safe. If there's a group of riders with some 3-wheel vehicles in the middle, I'll go from 2 fingers to 3 and back to 2. A little acknowledgement to fellow riders is all it is. To date, I'm very pleased with how reliable the bike has been and how it's performed. There will always be owners that encounter issues no matter what vehicle they own. These are machines after all, and shit happens. If a company stands behind their products to resolve an issue, I'm a happy customer. I can understand why people get annoyed or fed up with a company's customer service. It's happened to me in the powersports industry, and unfortunately, they've lost a customer because of it. Let's talk a little bit about the engine and instrument cluster. The speedometer is bang on. I checked the accuracy of the speedometer with 2 different GPS units, and it's within 1% of GPS speed. If I'm traveling 100 kilometers an hour on GPS, the Can-Am's gauge is reading 101 kilometers an hour. The accuracy of the Ryker compared to other bikes that I've owned in the past is excellent. The compass on the cluster would be a great feature. There was one occasion when a compass would have came in handy. I was in a remote area with no cell service on some twisty side roads. I came to a T intersection and wasn't sure which way to turn. There were no road signs, so I could have traveled in the wrong direction for quite some time before finding out that I was off course. If I knew that I had to go west, a compass would have helped in this situation. A small feature, but worth mentioning. The engine. The Ryker Sport has a 900 engine, which is strong, but there's always room for improvement. When on a Ryker, I've come to terms that this motor doesn't produce sport bike power, which is okay. I knew this when purchasing the vehicle. When I'm passing, I find myself dropping back, building speed, and slingshotting my way past vehicles, especially if there's multiple vehicles that are needing to be passed at one single time. On an open 2-lane highway, getting around a single vehicle is easily done by twisting the wrist. The engine is smooth once you're rolling, and I average 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers, or 33 miles per gallon, on which most of my riding is done on open roads. In the past, I've learned my lessons the hard way by not relying on the gas gauge. My train of thought is to always know the range of each vehicle, which usually can be done within a few fill-ups. With a 20-liter tank, I know that my range on the Ryker should be in the neighborhood of 280 kilometers, depending on my riding style since my last fill up. If I fill up at 200 kilometers and put in 14 liters, this will give me an actual consumption value regardless of what the fuel gauge says. I've noticed that my fuel gauge will read full until I've ridden approximately 160 kilometers, which is over half a tank, before it starts to drop. I'll reset my trip A at every fill up, and my trip B is reserved for my total mileage for the day or on a multi-day trip. Need gas? Get gas. I'd rather be looking at the fuel in my tank than be stranded on the side of the road because I thought I could make it to the next gas station. Is a turbo engine something that we may see in a future Can-Am Ryker? Ski-Doo snowmobiles have had turbo engines in them for a few years now. The 150 horsepower 900 turbo and the 900R, which boasts 180 horsepower, are currently on the snow. I'm not an engineer with BRP, so maybe there's a reason why they aren't offering a turbo engine. Could be space under the hood, liability reasons, wanting customers to upgrade to a Spider for a bigger engine, who knows. There are aftermarket turbo kits available, but having a warranty from the factory installed turbo would be awesome. It's generally a few $1,000s more for a turbo snowmobile compared to that of a naturally aspirated sled. Giving the consumers a choice to upgrade would be a great option if available. I'd be one of the first names on the list for a pre-order if a turbo Ryker was released. Easy monthly payments. The ride. As mentioned before, the vehicle stays flat and turns similar to that of a snowmobile. When pushing the Ryker through tight twisties, it does take a little more effort compared to that of being on two wheels. On multiple day rides, if you're cranking it hard, this will lead to more fatigue. The adjustable foot pegs and handlebars are great. I found the position that I'm most comfortable in for my riding style, and the setup pretty much stays as is now that I have it set. I may change handlebar and foot peg locations if on a multi-day ride or where a new position might increase some short-term comfort. I did change out my stock end links with a set from Baja Run, and it did make a world of a difference in stability. I haven't done the sway bar swap, but haven't felt the need to as of yet. There have been times where the bike has been pushed hard for extended periods and it stays planted for the entire time. If riding with a passenger, carrying a lot of luggage, or if you're a bigger human being, then the heavier sway bar may be a welcomed upgrade. Maintenance. Oil changes are straightforward and can be done by anyone with minor mechanical knowledge and some basic tools. There are a few YouTube videos out there that can help you with the process if you've never done it before. There's also been one recall for the steering stem bolt. I found out through a few of the Ryker social media pages and had the recall completed prior to receiving my notice in the mail. I called my local dealer and they had the part, so it was a quick fix. I did encounter a flat tire from picking up a foreign object, which resulted in almost 3 weeks of lost riding time. The dealership was backlogged for almost a month and couldn't pop off my rim due to reduced staffing. I ordered a wheel nut socket so that I could remove my own rim and take it to a tire shop. The socket took a couple of weeks to arrive in Canada from the US, and then I was back in business. To date, working on the bike has not been difficult, but the unique socket is needed if you're removing your rims. Unlike my Ducati, where you need a toolbox full of specialized tools to work on the bike. Mods. Like any other toy, the sky is the limit when making your Ryker stand out. There are plenty of Can-Am accessories as well as aftermarket companies that produce some amazing products. Wraps, rims, exhausts, speakers, LED kits, you name it. There are no two Rykers that look alike and can be personalized to suit your style. I haven't gone crazy with mods, but have added a few, more for function than looks at this point. A sport windshield, comfort seat, LED headlights, grip puppies, aftermarket end links, Link base plate for my Link luggage and gas caddy, which are all interchangeable from my snowmobile to my Ryker. You could have the baddest ass Ryker on the block if you chose to. It all depends on how deep your pockets are. After owning the Ryker for a season, here's a few details that I've encountered in addition to those mentioned in my previous video. By no means are these game changers, but something to consider as a Ryker owner. If you encountered things that are similar or something that I haven't mentioned, please feel free to post them in the comments below. Having to turn on sport mode every time you turn on the bike. I ride in sport mode for 95% of the time that I'm on the road. The other 5% is because I either forgot to turn it back on after restarting the bike from a fill-up, Or I'm in standard mode due to crappy road conditions so that I have a little more traction control. I wish the sport mode would stay on until you manually change it. I believe the eco mode stays on if that's what the bike was in prior to shutdown. I could be wrong, so if someone has some insight, please comment below. The frunk is a pain in the ass to open sometimes. I've had the dealer adjust the latching mechanism, I've lubricated the latch, and more times than not, I really have to push down on the frunk multiple times to get it to open. The rub on the tank. My coat rubs on the tank when I'm in an aggressive riding position and has caused some of the flat black paint to be removed. A simple fix would be to get a motorcycle tank protector pad to avoid this from happening. Rubber inserts on the foot pegs. If you're a high mileage rider, you can attest to how important comfort can be. Taking out the vibration in your hands and feet can make a world of a difference when in the saddle for a long period of time. The aftermarket world does have floorboards and other options available, but something as simple as rubber inserts would go a long way. LED headlights. This was one of my first mods. Not only does this illuminate the road for night driving, but also from a safety standpoint. Visibility to other vehicles during the day was a deciding factor. Going from around 1,000 lumens in most stock halogen bulbs to some LED kits having upwards of 12,000 lumens is a big jump. With only being part of the three-wheel lifestyle for one riding season, I have to say it's a growing community that welcomes you as a rider. Whether you like to ride alone, are a member of a club, a weekend warrior, or use the Ryker to release some stress, spending time on three wheels is a common passion that all Ryker owners share. If you're looking for a community that will welcome you with open arms, there's nothing else quite like owning a Ryker. If you're still not sure if this is the bike for you, go take a three-wheel course or hit up a demo day at your local dealer. To be honest, I was always biased about three wheels being a motorcycle rider until I got one. The Ryker is crazy fun. I can't wait to push it to the test again next season with some extended trips and potentially putting together a group ride. The 900 Sport is an attention getter, and for good reason. Keep ripping, and I'll be flashing 3 fingers down when passing each other on the road. Ride safe. Cheers.
And there you have it. I must say that I've really enjoyed my time on this Can-Am Ryker 900 Sport this summer. If you have any other thoughts or opinions on this bike, we'd love to hear it down in the comments section. I'm Hawkins from Canuck Powersports. Enjoy the rest of your season, ride safe, and we'll catch you on the road.